Okay, so Roy Smoothe, and people always ask, is that your real name? And the answer is, it is now. I changed it 20 years ago. And a quick brief of that story. As you can see, I come from the fashion world. I used to do fashion shows, and my favourite track was Sade's Smooth Operator. And so I was doing fashion shows in all these different venues, and I thought, I'll play Sade as my opening track, and I played that all the time. Then people started calling me Mr. Smooth, so I just decided to change my name. And you know what? That was one of the best things that I ever did in terms of increasing my brand visibility. So what do? Bit different from most of you in terms that you're filmmakers, script writers, all the visual stuff. What I do is I take people's stories and messages and put them into music. How did that come about, you ask? The quick story, it's almost 25 years now. My wife had cancer. I took redundancy. We went to America so she could have treatment. I thought, what am I going to do now? And I decided I'll go self-employed. Wasn't sure what I was going to do. Then I thought to myself, if I knew when I was younger what I know now, I would have took a different path. Who's ever been there before? Yeah. And so I decided I'm going to work with young people and help them make those pivotal decisions in their life around their careers, entrepreneurship, about the way they see the world, generally about the mindset. And so I thought, okay, I'll go and learn to be a speaker. When we went to America, I went to a speaking program, did a bit of training on speaking, and I was terrible. And I decided that is not the route for me. So even to have me up here now speaking is kind of like against the grain for me. What I did, I took that message, which was about my wife, Jane. I put it to music, and my son, Joseph, at the time, was only 7, and he could tell me every message that was on that mini EP album that I created with a story about me and Jane. And I thought to myself at that point, this is a great tool for communicating with Joseph. Unfortunately, I haven't said this for a while. Not long after Jane, she passed away, April 2004. And it was me, a single dad, with a son, Joseph, 7. And I was thinking to myself, how am I going to encourage, train, empower, just help Joseph become the best individual that he could be? And I realized at that point in time, he would listen to the messages in music. So I decided I was going to go out, reach out to some of the top speakers in the world in the areas of personal development, entrepreneurship, business, spirituality, take their messages and mix them with music. What I should have done really was to play a sample, but I'm going to do something different today. Has anybody here ever had their own record or own single, produced one? Just can you raise your hands? I know. Anybody here done a record? No, fantastic. Okay, all right, you're all about visual. So it's time for you guys to get excited because you're all going to be on a record now, okay? So I'm going to do a little exercise, and can I get the mics, please? Aidan, yeah, I'm going to put them in the audience, okay. So just to give you context, what I do is I take the spoken word and I mix it with different genres of music, then I release it as song tracks onto the music platforms, Spotify, Amazon, etc. 1 second. I'm going to put them in the audience. So the first one, we'll go to that lady there. Okay.
Where am I looking?
There she is, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. And another gentleman I met earlier on behind her, forget your name, but if you would take the mic. Yeah. So what I do is I'll take the spoken word from all these different people that I approach, and I mix them with music, different genres. And as Maxine was saying, it's been without any marketing, promotion, paid ads, whatever. I've reached that figure of over 500 million streams across the music and social media platforms. I could have taken it further, but one of my drivers was, in doing this, is I wanted to spend as much time as I could with Joseph as he was growing up. He's now 28, and he's turned out to become a powerful young man based on the content that he's been listening to over the years. And what was interesting was you had the panel there, and the guys who do the gaming, yeah. I remember when he was 14, he was playing PlayStation and all that kind of stuff, and he was always on there. I was thinking, how do I get him off that? Then one day, I was listening to the music on the PlayStation. I said, Joseph, what are you listening to? And he said, Dad, I'm listening to your stuff. He'd taken all the music off the PlayStation and put all this other empowering messages in the same kind of genre onto his PlayStation so he could play his games and be empowered and learn at the same time. Thank you. All right, thanks. I wasn't looking for applause, but thank you anyway. Yeah. But the powerful thing is, talking about, creating your own rhythm. I remember when he got to 13, something else that I did was, how do I take that to another level? And I decided I'm going to put on my own conference about personal development and business, and Josie's going to be the star of that conference. So I hired I think it was Passion nightclub in London, and I put on a whole entrepreneurial conference. And in fact, in terms of filming, I was going to make that into a documentary. And Joseph was going to be the young entrepreneur who was learning from all these seasonal entrepreneurs, learning their messages that they delivered at this conference. And I think that's how I actually got into this whole visual creative space, as I call it. So I'm going to get to the piece where I'll get you involved in a minute. But where that leads me to is that was in 2016. And after that, because I wanted to put Joseph into an entrepreneurial documentary, I started going to Cannes. I'd met a producer and owner of children's IP, and he became a friend, and I would go over there twice a year just to see how things were. Really, I just wanted to go there to sit in the sunshine in April and October, yeah? And then I got to the point where I was at the place where, because of my nature, I was good at introducing people to other people. One of the reasons why is everybody come and talk to me because of the way I dressed, yeah? And it still happens now. Elliot, you probably find the same. The way you look, you're a cool dude. People just come up and talk to you, yeah? So I got into that space by the way I dress, and then I decided I need to do something for myself. So long story short, I thought, how do I put music into this space? And I thought, okay, I'm going to take children's animation, mix it up with R&B, dance, hip-hop, house music, and create animated children's episodes. I wanted to do it myself. It didn't happen, but I managed to get a major deal with one of the top animation companies where the kind of service or whatever you call that I do was transferred from out of the personal development industry into the animation industry. And I believe the same thing is powerful enough to go into the games industry. When the gentleman there was talking, I was thinking, wouldn't it be incredible if some of these children's games had powerful messages inside them while the kids were playing the games? It would be crazy, off the chain. So I'm going to look out for that guy later on and have a chat. So, right, one exercise. I was going to tell you a bit more about myself, but I'm not going to go that route. What I want to do now is I'm going for the Guinness World Record for the world's greatest personal development and motivational album collection. And I'm looking to have, I'll tell you the truth, my target is 1,200 people feature in this collection. And now, I thought this morning, why don't I get the people in this audience to be part of at least one of these tracks, okay? So I thought, why not create the Creative Conference Anthem. Raise your hands if you're ready to rock, okay? Cool, right. So what we're going to do is, this is a chorus. And remember, you don't need to sing, okay? So don't get worried about being embarrassed because you're not a singer. I can't sing, that's why I started putting speech into music. So, I'm going to ask, can you come down for us? The lady with the mic? Could you guys come down? I'm going to need some help with this. Give them a round of applause as they come down. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it in my style, and then after I've done it, these guys are going to help me out, yeah? They're going to lead you in the messages that I put in the screen, and hopefully it's being recorded. Aidan, I can't see him. Yeah, it's being recorded. I'm recording it here. And after this conference, I'm going to turn this into a music track, yeah? Send it to Maxime, and then we'll see where it goes. But it'll be a good exercise for you guys to see how it works. So the way we put these messages together, right, it'll be the chorus. This is the moment. This is the stage where vision breaks out of the mental cage. Ideas take flight, we dare to advance. Turning dreams to reality, we take the chance. You're going to read that out, yeah, in your theatrical tone, and then the audience are going to repeat after you what you've just read out. Are we okay with that? Yeah. Could you all stand then, please, just to give it a bit more energy, okay? And as loud as you can. Ellie, you're going to do the chorus. Can you kick it off first?
This is the moment. This is the stage where vision breaks out of the mental cage.
This is the moment. This is the stage where vision breaks out of the mental cage.
Ideas take flight. We dare to advance. Turning dreams to reality, we take the chance.
Ideas take flight. We dare to advance. Turning dreams to reality, we take the chance.
From thought to action, we make our stand. Creators united, we build our brand.
From thought to action, we make our stand. Creators united, we build our brand.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to turn that into an anthem. I'm going to let Max choose the genre that he wants it in. We'll reproduce it. I'll send it to Max, and you will see what the outcome is. But the moral of the story is putting music into, well, it's in films automatically, but you can put powerful, empowering, motivational messages into whatever you're producing. Thank you.